Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. Today we are headed south down I-15 through the Virgin River Gorge. This is going to take us on through the desert into the town of Overton, Nevada, and heading on into the Valley of Fire. In 1912, there was a road built through the Valley of Fire, which was the continuation of the Arrowhead Trail going all the way to LA from Salt Lake City. And look at this old vehicle headed down that dirt road. There's no shortage of amazing views here in the park. This is the beginning at the east entrance where, of course, there is a toll. It's $15 for a car to get in. And just some of the amazing little caves and things here. And go right into Elephant Rock when you come into the park. You look up from the road to the right, and there it is. Now, there's angles if you hike up here, maybe some better views looking down towards the road of what looks like an elephant. And it really does when you get the right angles. And there's so much to share here. So we're going on a hike at the end. We're going to hike the White Domes Trail. And this is headed up the valley to get there, up the gorge to get there. Kind of a teetering rock there on top of the stones. I found that amazing. You can hike around that and take a look, and then on up the gorge we'll go. So just take a look at the drive to get up to some of the amazing attractions. Once you climb out of the gorge, you'll find multiple trails to hike. This is Arches Rock, and that is a great trail to hike, and also Fire Wave that you can see up here on the trails. And Mouse Tank is another trail. This one will be off on the right when you get to the top. Many petroglyphs here and throughout the park. One of the locations for the petroglyphs is Mouse Tank, and then at Laddle Rock. And there's a large staircase that goes up to the top. And then there's Rainbow Vista. Now, all these areas you're able to hike and see. We're going to take you on the hike today at White Domes. We love this trail. And as you see down the trail here, you're going to find out why. There's actually a movie set here, kind of in the middle, that I'm going to share with you here shortly. White Domes Trail is a 1.5 mile loop. Walks around all the rocks and goes through a slot canyon. Now, the trail isn't really difficult, but at the same time, it's kind of tricky. A lot of sandstone steps going down, and they're hard rock, and they're cut out as steps, but they're not normal steps. So some of them are about 1.5 feet or 2 feet deep to step on. And also there's some loose sand. As you can see, there's a lot of sand in this area that blows in. And it just goes down fairly steep through this gorge. So I just wanted to give you a good look at that for anybody who's thinking, hey, I might go there and try this out. It's said that the most obvious evidence of occupation in this area is the petroglyphs carved into the rocks by the basket maker culture of about 2,500 years ago, I guess. And it was followed later by early Pueblo culture, Paiutes, that were living in the area as late as 1865 when the settlers came through this area and found this location. As we carve our way on down the trail through this amazing rock formation and sandy base that we're walking through, we will come across the movie set for The Professionals. This is a 1965 movie set that starred Burt Lancaster, Lee Marvin, and Claudia Cardinale. And it's just a small part of the movie set that is left. And there's a stone monument and some stone areas there that explain the commercial filming in the area. And you'll see that old picture there that we had was the picture of the movie set that was actually here. And this is all that remains. At the beginning of the trailhead, there is a photo of the slot canyon. And so as we walk down, I really didn't know what to expect because it's just a very vague photo of it. But as you get right here, you can start to see how amazing this slot canyon is. So we've been in a few slot canyons. This is not very long, but it is amazing, very narrow. Not to where if you were claustrophobic, it wouldn't bother you, right? It's 4 to 6 feet wide, some 10 feet wide in some spots. But look how amazingly smooth this is from water and wind and sand that have carved this out. And this is just absolutely amazing as you go through and come out the other side. So let's take a look. As we come out of the slot canyon, we'll start heading back up the valley here, and it goes back around to the trailhead where we started. So it's a giant loop, and I just find that there's no end to desert beauty at this location. Walking out of this area was much easier, I think, going up than it was going down. Just because it seemed a little bit more gradual than the down. But I'll tell you, going down that canyon was beautiful, and coming out was just as beautiful, just less difficult. The reason Valley of Fire looks the way it does is because it is sandstone from the Jurassic period. And the Jurassic period said it produces red sand or red stone. And this is remnants of what was, I guess, developed after inland seas subsided and the land rose. And this is what you get. There is no shortage of things to see here in this beautiful 40,000 acre park. There are things to climb on, places to hike, picnicking, camping. They have amazing cabins here up one of the canyons. So much to do and so much to see. As we finish up our hike here at White Domes Trail, we're going to continue on down the road. We're going to come across an area of Seven Sisters. Now, this is 7 large rock formations with a great picnicking area and an amazing view. But before we get there, we're going to visit just a few friends we found alongside the road. It wouldn't be a park in Nevada without bighorn sheep. And we were able to get really close to these right along the roadside. There's no shortage of sheep in this park. As we come to the end of our journey, we're going to head on over to Seven Sisters Rock Formation here in the Valley of Fire, which is an amazing formation of 7 large rocks that stick up out of the desert with a great picnicking area. After this, we're heading over to St. Thomas, the sunken ghost town of Nevada. And until our next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades.